Back in the 80s and 90s, when the Mario series was still pretty fresh and new, we were quickly, in 1983's Mario Bros. Arcade game, introduced to Mario's younger brother Luigi, who sported green rather than red. And that was the only difference between the two. Nothing made Luigi stand out from Mario other than the color of his shirt. He didn't even make it into Mario 64, the big 3D debut for the series. After the 90s though, when the 2000s crept up on the video game industry, there was a bit of an experimental period, in which developers from the previous generation perfected their craft while introducing much more ambitious ideas. Sony went on and made the PlayStation 2 after the first console's success, and the developers of the Crash trilogy, Naughty Dog, went from making a platformer game with linear hallways and such to making an open-world collectathon platformer. And also keep in mind that this was all the way back in 2001, so it was a pretty crazy time. And yeah, I know I've referenced Jak and Daxter in like every video, I promise I'll actually review it sometime, okay? 2001 was also the release year for Nintendo's new, almighty 6th gen console, the GameCube. On all of their previous consoles, Nintendo launched them with a Mario game, and this time around, they do this again. Kind of. Luigi's Mansion, a game where Mario's for once pushed aside to give the player a better idea of what the other plumber is all about. It's a game that nobody really asked for, yet me and many others left to death anyway. Although, at launch, not everyone was exactly thrilled at Luigi taking the spotlight, even if Mario was getting his own full game in the form of Super Mario Sunshine only a year or so down the road. So, in celebration of Halloween, I figured I'd give this game its own dedicated review. It was only a matter of time until I felt like doing this since, as I said, I love this game quite a bit for a variety of reasons. To give a bit of personal background, as I did in the Minecraft and Ratchet & Clank videos, I found this game in a box of GameCube games I got when I was 5 or 6. It was actually the first game I played for the console even. I remember I saw the ghost on the cover and I was afraid I would get nightmares from the game, so I was hesitant to play it at first. But eventually I decided to pop the disc in. And here I am, like 10 years later, still replaying it over and over to this very day. This game even established an entirely new series for Nintendo to make money off of. I'll say that I don't really plan to cover the other games for the time being. I would love to talk about Luigi's Mansion 3 and all, but I can't capture the second game since I don't have a 3DS capture card, and yeah, I already went over this in my Animal Crossing video. I just don't have hundreds of dollars to spend away on that shit. I also just don't really like doing games out of order. But anyway, that's enough rambling, so without further ado, let's begin. Getting right into it, Luigi received a letter telling him that he won a mansion in a contest. Despite the fact that he never even entered a contest, he decides to head over there anyway, so he tells Mario to meet him there. But when Luigi arrives, ooh, it's pitch black, and Mario's nowhere to be found, and damn did Nintendo want to show off those new GameCube protocol effects, cause look at that dust, dude. That's a dusty-ass floor. After he finds a key dropped off by some floating Cheeto dust, he enters the parlor on the second floor and is greeted to this. We're then, for the very first time, introduced to one of my favorite Mario characters, Professor Egad. He did also appear in Mario & Luigi Partners in Time, which was kinda cool, but he's most known for his fascination with ghosts in the Luigi's Mansion series. And in the first game specifically, he captures ghosts and puts them in paintings. The reason they're all over the mansion is because King Boo let them out of Egad's paintings, reversing the work that his ghost portrificationizer has done. Egad explains the situation as an aging ghost hunter to Luigi, and since he needs a break from it, and Luigi conveniently coming along, the vacuum that Professor Egad uses, called the Poltergust 3000, to suck up ghosts, is given to Luigi so that he can not only recapture all of the ghosts, but also save his brother Mario. It's a simple yet effective plot. Not that you should really expect a complex plot from a Mario game besides maybe Super Paper Mario, but yeah. One of the main things that makes me love this game is how much it establishes Luigi as a different guy than Mario. He's not this super confident do-gooder, he's a lovable idiot who clearly doesn't want to be here, cowering in fear at these elusive spirits. In dark hallways you can see the cold, nervous breathing and you can hear him nervously hum the main theme. But when the lights are on, he's got a more laid-back, chilled-out expression as he instead whistles the main theme. It's the little details like this that truly make the game shine to a degree that I haven't seen many other games accomplish. So, what about that gameplay? After you get your hands on the Poltergust 3000, you could flash ghosts with your flashlight and then suck them up. The health of these guys, their attacks, their colors, their gimmicks, and their weaknesses are pretty different and switch up throughout the game quite a bit. The gameplay is arguably rather repetitive, but the variety in the ghosts and such help that for me. What also helps for me is the simple fact that capturing these ghosts is satisfying as hell. The rising tone that plays as you take away larger and larger chunks of its health before that whirly suction noise. It really makes you feel like a badass. You may also be thinking about the boos, the staple ghost enemy of the Mario franchise. They are indeed in this game. After you light up a room, a boo will be hiding in a random piece of furniture. This is after you accidentally release them from their hiding place in the storage room. But anyway, their health steadily increases from like 50 all the way up to like 300. They could travel to different rooms, including ones that you don't have access to yet, or ones you have to walk all the way back to the beginning of the mansion. I'm not gonna go ahead and act like it ruins the game, but it is very tedious, even after I learned a damn speedrun trick to keep them in one place. There's 50 boos total, although you only need 40 to finish the game. You don't just have to fight standard ghosts though. You'll also have these little mini-boss ghosts where you have to figure out some sort of puzzle. For example, you wait for Neville to yawn, then you go ahead and suck him up. You suck open the curtain, and as the wind wildly blows through, you go ahead and suck her up. One of my favorites has to be Miss Petunia. Sure, all you really do is, suck open the shower curtain and spray her with ice before sucking her up. But if you're not sure what to do, and you go into Nana's room first and you read her old journal, she describes a prank that she played on Miss Petunia where she essentially did the exact same thing you have to do except with freezer ice. It's simultaneously a good hint and a funny little story to add to these ghosts' personalities. Speaking of ice, you can also get these little medallions that allow you to shoot different elements out of your poltergeist. Of course, we have ice, and there's also fire and water. Fire is used to light candles, while water is used to water plants. This is especially awesome for the balcony, where you can find tons of plants to get gems from upon watering them. That brings up another thing that I love about this game: the collectibles and the secrets. You can collect rubies, sapphires, emeralds, a few different colors of diamonds, etc. The diamonds also include gold ones. These are worth a ton of money. You get one for watering a plant throughout the game and another for getting all 50 boos. These gems can be found through searching specific things, like the bucket over here or this pipe outside, or they can even be acquired by sucking up a golden mouse or speedy spirit. Golden mice either randomly spawn in specific rooms or hallways, or a hidden piece of cheese needs to be scanned with the Game Boy Horror in order for it to come out. Speedy spirits, however, hide in furniture and other items. Wardrobes, tables, chests, stuff like that. They drop a ton of money upon sucking them up, and sometimes even a gem. They're an ideal way to get cash in the game and boost your overall money count. There's also tons of secrets all throughout the mansion. If you scan this mouse hole, you're sucked right into it and you're taken to another room of shiny gold. Look at all the money you get here, dude. There's even a bigger room just like it you get by jumping down this chimney like Santa Claus or some shit. The sealed off door from the outside of it is a nice touch. It's as if these ghosts were just rich as hell and didn't really give a shit, so they just threw it all over the mansion. I really love the arcadey feel that this game has. You get an overall score in the end with a rank, and it encourages you to reach higher next time and look for more secrets throughout the mansion. It's just really neat. And the fact that this game is only 3 hours really adds to the replayability of it. While not counting towards your overall score in the end, you look around the mansion for a bunch of Mario's lost items, and you bring it to this chick, Madame Clairvoyant. She's a fortune teller who tells you more and more about your brother the more items of his you collect. Even though he has most of this stuff when you find him later on, I don't really understand. That's just about all there is to say about the gameplay. It's rather simple, but it does have its twists and turns here and there that keeps it consistently interesting for me. One thing that captivated me about this game when I first played it was the mystery. This is going to be a bit of a shorter section, I'm guessing, but I still really want to talk about it independently from the gameplay. The mystery surrounding the mansion as a whole is prevalent throughout the whole game. Firstly, and most strangely, EGAD said that the mansion just appeared there one day and that it actually wasn't always there. So it's clear that these ghosts are searching for a victim or something, which is probably why Luigi, supposedly, won it in a contest. Remember the Game Boy Horror stuff I brought up earlier? Well, you can also use it to scan items around the mansion so that Luigi can give his thoughts on them. It's a pretty small and insignificant feature, and it's pretty clear after a little bit that these comments are just randomly plastered to different items across the mansion. But then you get to this room here with a miscellaneous creepy doll head. If you scan it, Luigi says, "I've been wanting one of these for quite a while." Yeah. After you catch a boss ghost, it's added to your Game Boy Horror with a little description. Some of these are pretty interesting, or maybe even a little creepy. For example, Sue P, a little girl who has an obsession with sleeping, I guess, has a description: "What was meant to be a short nap seems to have turned into eternal rest for sweet Sue P." The game is basically telling you that she died in her sleep and just wants to rest for eternity, until you spray her with water to wake her up. One of the most simultaneously mysterious and scary things in this game, though, is the boss Bogmire. First of all, he's got an excellent design and a pretty cool gimmick for his boss fight. But when I was little, I'm pretty sure I had a nightmare or two about him because his design creeped me the hell out when I first played the game. Okay, I didn't mention this next thing in the gameplay section because I thought it would be cooler to mention here, but yeah, just take a look at this scene. In my personal favorite room of the game, the observatory, Luigi looks through a damn telescope and then blows up the moon. Like, really, he does. I mean, it's still there afterwards somehow, so I don't know, man. Maybe it's just a moon that's just inside the room, I have no clue, the game doesn't make it clear. But seriously, that's some seriously awesome shit. It's also where you get to walk in this really cool looking pathway to retrieve one of Mario's items, his star. This room is in very stark contrast to the bedrooms and bathrooms we see time and time again throughout the mansion. I think that's enough rambling, but seriously, this room is awesome, and mysterious stuff like this throughout Luigi's Mansion is very charming. When it comes to the music, there's not a ton to talk about. I still want to give it its own dedicated section in the video as I've done with most of my other videos, but it'll be significantly shorter than the other ones I'm assuming. We of course have the standard hallway theme. As I said earlier, Luigi's nervous humming completes the song. It sounds pretty empty without it. Another standout theme is the outdoor theme. It's simultaneously very mysterious yet kind of melancholy and relaxing. There's also the theme that plays in Egad's lab, which is catchy as hell. The credits theme is actually pretty good too. Besides that, there's not much else. I'm not gonna go ahead and call this a bad soundtrack, it's just that there's not much that I would consider noteworthy. So, there you go. That's Luigi's Mansion. I was originally going to include like some final boss section, you know, with a spoiler warning and stuff, but I don't really have much to say about the game's finale besides the fact that I love the final scene. Also, I don't see much of a point in talking about spoilers for a game that everyone already knows about, so moving on. This was my first holiday themed review, so please let me know how it turned out. I can't say that I plan to do many more of these in the future, but with me starting these reviews only a few months ago and me wanting to review the game, I saw a perfect opportunity and I seized it. Anyway, please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Also comment and tell me about your thoughts on Luigi's Mansion. Is it good? Bad? Are the sequels better? Let me know. Make sure you also subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any future uploads. I've got a lot of videos planned for the rest of this year and likely the beginning of next year as well. Hopefully I'll see you all again soon. Bye.